Welcome to toy-polloi.
Hello and welcome to another video from toy-polloi. Now, unfortunately, while everyone's in lockdown, we're not able to go to toy fairs and toy shows or any of the sort of toy trading places that we would normally go. And that's a real shame because there are quite a good few toy fairs coming up, but it's for everybody's best that we stay at home. So I thought I'd do a little show and tell about the toys that I picked up at various charity shops and in their rummage boxes over the last year, because a lot of people say to me, where do you find your toys? And the answer is I do find them everywhere, and I still do find them in charity shops. I don't find them as often as I used to, but if you rummage enough and you sort of search around, you can still find some great items. And this is a selection of stuff that I probably picked up over the last year from various shops all over the country, because anywhere I go, if I see a charity shop and it's open, I will pop in and I'll have a look around. Generally, the best place to find stuff is in the little boxes that they have at the back. They'll have a box full of toys that kids can sort of rummage through, and they'll be charging sort of 10p an item or 50p an item. And if you rummage in those and sort of search through them for long enough, you'll generally find a good item. Now, I have to say, this doesn't happen every time, but on the whole, you can rummage through and there'll be some little thing in there that you like, or that will be perfect for your collection. And in the last year, I've managed to find these 3 Star Wars figures, all in those sorts of rummage boxes. Each one of these cost me 50p. I think I found this one first, which is a nice little Tusken Raider, not in bad condition, obviously missing his cape, but for 50p you can't go wrong. Then I found the Han in his Hoth outfit. That's a little bit more worse for wear, but again, for 50p you can't go wrong. And I think the best one was this one, which I found on a visit to some family up in London. I had 5 minutes to spare. I'd walked past a charity shop, I looked in their rummage pot, and I found this last 17 indoor Luke Skywalker. So a very pleasing thing to buy, and again, this was just 50p. It just happened to be in their rummage pot. So those were the 3 sort of Star Wars figures of the year. Then closer to home, I go to sort of my local towns every other weekend generally, and there's a whole load of charity shops there. I'll look in them most times. Don't often find stuff, but every once in a while you'll find something that makes it worthwhile. And I picked this up, which is a nice little LJN ET from ET the Extraterrestrial. I think this is from about 1982, something like that. Nice little sort of rubbery, similar to a Smurf. That cost 10p. I don't often collect sort of ET stuff, but it just sort of grabbed me, and I thought for that much money I might as well pick it up. Then in the same box, while I was sort of hunting around, I found a Weeble. Now, this is not something I would normally collect, but I'd remembered these as a child. It's something that I think everybody had if you grew up in the 70s. These were made by Hasbro back in 1971, so it's a proper vintage item. It's got a sort of weighted bottom to it, so when you knock it over, it never falls down. As they say, Weebles wobble, but they never fall down. Again, for 10p, I thought I'd have it because it's a sort of unique little thing, and I could use it in some photos or some videos at some point. So something I just thought would be sort of a fun thing to pick up, and for 10p, you can't go wrong. I also grabbed this Smurf as well, because I had a similar Smurf to this. I think mine had a sort of yellow hat and it rode in a little sort of red car, so I just had a sort of little memory to me. I think this probably sits on a motorbike or something like that, but for 10p you can't go wrong. But the best thing in that pot was this, and this is the head of a Transformer. This is a Headmaster's Transformer. This is from a figure called Mindwipe. I think his name is Vorath, and these are actually pretty hard to find. He's missing an arm, but otherwise he's in fair condition, and if I ever find the body for Mindwipe, I can stick this on it. So again, a little broken Transformer, 10p, just well worth a rummage to find something like that. Then I think possibly my favourite thing that I found, and I only bought it just on a whim, was this. Again, it was in another sort of rummage pot, and this is a 2-part helmet for Darth Vader. I'm not actually sure what it's from. I'm guessing it's from a sort of Revenge of the Sith era 12-inch figure, something like that. But I just saw it and I thought, that looks exactly the same sort of scale as Action Man, and again, it was a 10p purchase, so I thought I'd buy that. And you know what? It does actually fix on Action Man. So if I bring in my little stunt Action Man here, let me remove his COVID-19 mask, but he's currently in lockdown to make sure that he doesn't pass on any germs to other people. And we can replace that with this mask. I did a few little modifications to the mask just to make it fit, but you can see I can now dress up any Action Man as Darth Vader. So this is my favourite thing that I've managed to find in a charity shop, just because you can do so much with it, and for 10p and a tiny modification, that gave me a whole afternoon's worth of fun. So really sort of silly things you can buy certainly are worth picking up. Then the last couple of things, these were again on travels, visiting my family and stuff. Picked up a Bull Alien from Kenner. This is from 1992. Again, this was in a rummage pot, would you believe? I think I paid £1 for this one because it was a slightly bigger item, but it all works. You can see his head ejects, and even I think if you push that lever on the back, you can make his head move. For £1, you can't go wrong. I did actually buy lots of these at the time and then sort of sold off my entire collection, but this one, I don't know, I quite like it. Couldn't leave it there for that much money. It was too nice to sort of leave, and at some point I can use it for something. Then if you watch my recent video, you'll have seen that I've been talking about toy entropy and the fact that all toys will degrade over time. And there was one thing I mentioned in that, which was the gold plastic syndrome, and I actually picked up this thinking that it might be useful as a future thing for a video, because this is a modern transformer from the age of extinction. This is one of the sort of quick changer figures. So this is Grimlock as his dinosaur mode, and then if you pull that apart, it turns into Grimlock in his robot mode. These are actually on sale in the shops for about £10. I think they were quite a lot of money. So again, to have this is almost brand new, but it was for 50p in the rummage pot. I couldn't resist it. But the reason I picked it up was because you can see it actually has a sort of gold and sort of metallic finish to the plastic, and I'm reckoning give this a few years and this toy will actually start to crumble away. You can quite clearly see the gold marbling effect that's inside these. I have a feeling that this will suffer from gold plastic syndrome. So I've bought this for a sort of future video, and I'm thinking 5-10 years down the line, maybe, if I'm still doing toy-polloi, that this might come in handy, because I have a feeling it will have that same problem that I was talking about, the fact that this plastic will start to go brittle and fall apart. But there you can see, these are the sort of things that you can find in charity shops. You just have to keep looking. And people say to me, oh, but I never find anything, I never find anything. Quite often I never find anything, but every once in a while I will find that one thing. And it might be that I go in a shop 20 or 30 times over a year and get nothing out of it. But there'll be that one time I go in and there'll be an item just sitting there in the rummage pot or sort of on the side somewhere, and that will make those 20 or 30 trips that I've been into that shop really worthwhile. So you just have to have some perseverance and also a lot of patience, because sometimes toy collecting is all about the patience. You can't instantly get stuff. Just wait, be patient, do a bit of searching, and at some point you'll find that elusive item. And that's what this shows, really, that over a whole year this is all I've found, but that all of those trips to the charity shops and rummaging in the bins have made it worthwhile. So I hope this video has been of interest to you, and thanks for watching.
Thanks for watching toy-polloi. Subscribe for more great videos. You can also follow toy-polloi on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram.